What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cummcast. I am Ryan, your host, and I'm also here with Cody, the Bald Wonder.
Welcome back, everybody!
Okay.
I'm here. How's it going, everybody? This is Cody, the Bald Wonder. I'm not so bald today. I haven't shaved in like 5 days. So it's more like I have the my dome looks like a peach. It literally has hair on it like a peach. It's like the definition.
Oh, because you haven't shaved?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I fucking mean, yeah.
Well, I thought it meant you got some sun, and never mind. Okay.
I am like a very newly unprepubescent boy's nutsack. That's what my head looks like right now. If that makes sense at all.
No.
But, so how's it going, everybody? Hope everybody had a great week. I know our week is pretty good. We hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, everybody. So I hope everybody had a great time. I know we did. Kind of a blur, some of it. Drank a lot. ate a shit ton. I think I gained another like 5 pounds in 2 days. It's
I know we separated on. I'm guessing you did drink wherever you went.
Well, of course, yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. But, so, gained like another 5 pounds in 2 days, because that's possible when you're me. So, it's going to take me like another 3 days just to lose that. Water, and, but that's pretty much it. So, hope you guys had a great Independence Day again. We're getting a lot of fucking listeners. Quite a bit, honestly.
Are we?
Yeah, from what I've seen. Like downloads from what you tell me.
Huh? I haven't told you yet how many we've gotten, so I don't know.
You told me the other day
you're plucking this out of your ass. I haven't told you anything. You told me
we've gotten a lot of downloads this month.
I guess.
Okay, anyway.
I haven't told you anything.
Okay, I don't know where I'm getting my facts. But anyway, guys, so...
this month we haven't had hardly any because it just started last month.
Well, yeah, the last episode we've been getting the last couple episodes we've been getting quite a bit.
No. Sam Bob came in clutch. His episode was the highest we've had with his following. It seems like nobody who listened to that episode kept going with it. So, thanks a lot, Sam Bob, for that one episode.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the spike in the episode, Sam Bob. We really appreciate it.
But no reverb from that, unlike California.
It's okay.
Who were having crazy ass aftershocks after their earthquake. But anyway, all right, let's get into the beer of the week, sir.
Oh my god, it's the beer of the week.
Time to get drunk.
Woo! Alright, guys, the beer of the week. This week we have the Calabaza, or Calabaza, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce it. I'm going to call it Calabaza Blanca. The Calabaza Blanca is brewed and bottled by Jolly Pumpkin Artisan Ales, LLC, which is from Dexter, Michigan. And it is an artisan white ale brewed with spices, barrel-aged, and bottle condition. The Calabaza Blanca is an artisan white ale brewed in Belgium's beer blanch tradition, spiced with orange peel and coriander. You'll find a refreshingly tart with a wonderfully tart or dry finish. A year-round favorite for sure. Sorry. I'm trying to get better at reading these fucking bottle logo or these bottle descriptions, but that's why it tastes a little tart when I tried it before the podcast, because it's got coriander in it and orange peel. But all around a good beer, guys. It's the first time I've ever had it. I found it in a pint.
Just like that, then.
Yeah, I found it in a pint bottle, which I couldn't find in a 6-pack or anything. In a pint bottle, was just 16-ounce beer. So reasonably priced, not too bad price, but a really cool logo on the label.
That's not 16 ounces, is it?
Yeah, it's 60. It's a pint bottle.
They're so much bigger than regular bottles, then. Pretty sure that's a 24 ounce.
I lied. It's 9.4 fluid ounces. That's not 9.4 fluid ounces, is it? That's a lot.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 19. Maybe the one scratched off.
Right there, 1 pint, 9.4 fluid ounces.
That's impossible because this is 12.
Yeah, it's Oh, it's probably it's probably a pint plus 9.4 fluid ounces.
Oh,
okay. So it's a little more than a pint, but this is a pint bottle. Or also,
so a pint is 16.
Yes.
So 16 plus 9.
Also, this could be called as a bomber glass. So if anybody knows what a bomber is, it's just the bigger beer bottles you see. That's a bomber. So great label on the bottle. I really like it. It's kind of like a futuristic Cinderella. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But all around, I give it like a 3.5 out of 5 probably. It's not bad. So that was the beer of the week, guys. All right, let's get into our week. Ryan, what did you do this week? What's going on? What's happening? What's the big scoop?
Nothing besides work and 4th of July stuff, which is shitty for where we work. We work at the same place, but it's shitty because so many people requested off today. But what they did is our work doesn't, give you that extra day if the holiday falls like in almost the middle of the week. So everybody worked, had to work that Monday through Wednesday, unless you took it off. But it was Monday through Wednesday, off Thursday for the 4th of July. And then you had to come back Friday unless you had it pre-scheduled off for months in advance. But so I ended up working a day, and coming back from that, I about didn't make it in because people were launching off fireworks here and at my house. And I don't know where it was coming from, but it was pretty close. And the dog, as you get on that little edge of sleep where you're about ready to you can feel you're about ready to just go into a deep sleep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then he would just start whining, and then I'd wake up, and then I'd yell at him, and then he'd jump off the bed and jump back on the bed and get off the bed. And it took me forever. I laid there for 2 hours trying to go to sleep. Finally ended up going to sleep. But the holidays were fun. Went to a friend's house, drank, ate. They always throw pretty decent parties, and then woke up the next morning and hung out, came back home, and then ended up going back over there for a barbecue for the actual 4th, and then had to come home early and wake up to go into work and about didn't make it. So
yeah, and I remember the place that we went the day before 4th of July for, they usually make, hot wings and all these other it's a great spread of food. And we just eat and drink all night, and it's great. I mean, who doesn't like that, So I remember one of the first times we ever went there, and the guy that usually cooks all the food. I remember when we were sitting there, and I had a plate full of wings and dips and all this other shit, and just eating to my heart's content, just stuff in my face. And he walks up and in a plain voice, with a straight face, looks at me and says, "Is that pretty good?" I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Get it in ya."
Oh my God.
My butthole never clenched so fast. It was bad. I didn't know what the fuck to do. If you're stuffing your face full of food and a grown ass man sits next to you and says, "Get it in ya," you gotta freak out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. My week, pretty much the same. Just working. Good news, everybody.
You got the apartment.
Spoils. Spoiler alert, Ryan fucked it up. So, yeah. But me and Tracy, we got the apartment, got approved for the apartment. So we're moving in next month, sometime middle of next month. It's right in our price range. So, we're really excited. So we just been window shopping right now just because we're a little short on money at the time. So we're just been window shopping, and I take her to different spots to torment her because we can't really afford to buy anything. And I took her to this new home store that opened up in town, and she was basically in heaven, but she couldn't buy anything. And as soon as we walked out, I said, "Look, babe, we don't have anything in our hands." And she's like, "I hate you."
Is that what that is? It's basically like an IKEA.
Oh, it's like it's like a middle-aged white mom that owns an antique and primitive store took a shit everywhere.
But it's like an outlet, ain't it?
No, it's literally like a home store. Think of it as an IKEA / primitive
Bath and Body,
or no, more like Bed Bath & Beyond, something like that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
an antique,
I get them
like an
confused.
antique primitive store / Bed Bath & Beyond / IKEA. So it literally has everything, anything from outdoor furniture to canvas art.
Maybe I need to go in there.
Everything in between. It's really cool. But I took her
Is
in
it
there.
expensive?
Reasonably priced. Some stuff you could probably find cheaper, but honestly not bad. So I took her there just to torment her. I love tormenting her. I've took her a couple places so far, and since we can't afford anything, she just gets pissed off at me.
Yeah.
So, but I love it, and so that's we got approved for the apartment, so we're super excited, moving in. Other than that, just 4th of July plans, had a great time, so much food. I usually go to my roommates' families, get together on 4th of July, and I've never seen so much food in one place. They even shipped up crawfish from Louisiana, and had a crawfish boil too, on top of numerous barbecue and everything. Just all kinds of food. And Tracy had never ate crawfish before, and I have, so I kind of knew how to eat them. And I grabbed one, and she's like, "How do you eat it?" And I was like, "You just take you
Rip it in half. You suck the juice out the head and eat the meat.
Literally, that's literally what you do." So that's what I did, and she's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna like it."
A lot of people don't.
No, so she said, "What's it taste like?" I said, "Well, it kind of tastes like dirt." And she says, "Why does it taste like dirt?" I said, "Well, they live on the floor of the river bank."
That's why they put like all that shit together with
spices, and so it was actually really good. They were really good, and I tore the tail off, and I handed the tail to her, and I was like, "Now, suck that out." And she goes, "No." She's like, "I'm not sucking anything out." So she handed it back to me. But it was actually really good. So a lot of food, drank, played cornhole. I kicked ass at cornhole, undefeated. Watched fireworks. I'm about fireworked out. I'm one and done on fireworks. I watched fireworks once, and I'm done for the year.
It was fucking hot. I can't believe you were out there doing that shit.
Actually, last year at the same place, it was about 10 degrees hotter, and I was sweating yesterday, but the year before, it was unbearable.
What time did you go, like in the middle of the day?
2 o'clock. It started at 2, and we were there until midnight, so...
See, I didn't go over there until like 6, and we just sat on the back porch, and it was shaded, but there wasn't no fucking wind, and it was just... You're sitting in your own juices after a while.
Well, they had some shade that we sat under, and it was a good time. The only thing was it rained, and their yard is kind of poor drainage, so there was water kind of standing everywhere. So that kind of sucked, and we were going. They have a pool there, and we were walking to the pool, and it was kind of down a slope, and I just busted my ass right in the mud. Which is common if you're a fat person, because your center of balance is horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you can attest to that. I have claimed that over the years that Ryan has the worst balance I've ever seen.
Our center of gravity is perfect, but our catchability and balance is
what the fuck
bad.
is a catchability?
Like if you you're getting ready to fall, people can usually like stick their foot out and catch themselves. We can't do that. We sit there and hop for about 10 feet. Unless we hit a wall, we don't usually stop. So
no, when I was bigger, if I fell, shit's definitely getting broken. Something's definitely breaking behind me or whatever. I'll catch myself, but I'm gonna fall on something. Remember that one time that Bo was in my way and I accidentally fell on him?
Yeah, because you're an idiot.
I turned him into a fucking slinky. That was bad. I felt really horrible for that. But he was in the way, and he couldn't move fast enough, and I tried, and I literally turned him into a slinky.
Yeah.
So that was a rough time, but he
you have experiences of falling.
Yeah.
You do that a lot, especially when you're hammered.
Yeah, but he bounced back pretty quick. So
I just remember that one time at the bonfire or whatever, you got smashed. I don't even know. You're drinking like whiskey and soda. And I remember I had it that one time, and we were in the house, and it was in like a bottle, and I was like, I'm just going to shake this up to piss him off. And I guess that bottle wasn't very sealed, and it just goes, and starts spraying everywhere. It went everywhere. And I don't even know how much you drank that night, but we were sitting out by the bonfire, and you were sitting in like them $10 lawn chairs that you get from Walmart and shit. And you go to stand up and just like fall back down and it just completely like flattens like a pancake. And like you break that chair and then I'm like, here, trade me seats. And you sit on the coolers we have. And like the coolers we have are like completely fat proof. Like they are like solid coolers. Like you can sit on them and the lids don't dent.
Yeah, that's the main thing about a fucking cooler. If the lid dents, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, and these are awesome. And they also hold ice for 3 days. Aren't they? I think they're igloos.
They're Coleman.
Are they Coleman?
Yeah.
But they're super fucking nice. And you can pack all kinds of shit in there and like carry it. And usually you got to worry about the handle breaking. I don't even know how much stuff I put in there. And it probably weighed like 50 pounds and that handle still holds up strong. But
no, I used that one yesterday, 4th of July. And we had 24 beers and a 6-pack of Corona and a bag of ice. And the handle was bending, but it didn't break.
Yeah, it's a strong cooler.
It was heavy as shit, too.
I just remember I traded you seats and you were wearing basketball shorts and they were like swishy and slick. And it was like night and maybe dew on there. And you would just sit there and you'd start sliding off and then you just fall because we were on an angle and you just slide off and you say, oh, you just kept saying, oh shit. You'd say, oh shit, and you boom and hit the ground and you'd get back up, you sit back on it, and then you'd continually slide off and oh shit. I mean, you don't even catch yourself.
Yeah, that was back, and I remember that was back when I used to chew, and I got so drunk that after I put a dip in, and when I would somebody told me to tell a story. So I started to tell a story, and while I'm telling my story, I had to spit my tobacco spit out. Well, I was leaned back, and it would just go straight down my chin and down to my white shirt. Mm-hmm. I cannot own a white shirt. No, nothing white I cannot own. So I have chew spit all the way down my face and on my shirt. I've fallen off the cooler at least once. And I remember after about the second time I fell off the cooler, I stood back up and
I fell off that cooler like 6 times.
I stood back up. And by the last time I sat back down and I just go, oh shit. I knew it was coming and I didn't even try to save myself.
Yeah. And then I was like, come on, we gotta go. And then you got up and started walking. I was like, Cody, you're gonna fall. And like, you were just like, you were walking way faster than I was. And I had it like, had the chair and you had the cooler and you like had it in your hand and it was still heavy. Still had a bunch of shit in it. And you just started walking, you started fucking going that way, the way the hand you had it on. You had it in your right hand, and you were just carrying it, and you started fucking going that way, going right. And I was like, Cody, stop. And you're like, what? And I was like, stop. I said, the door's over here to the left. I said, you're walking over here. And I was like, give me the cooler. I said, you just go. And you just like started beelining. And I was like, Cody, you better slow down. You're going to fall. And about that time, he fell and damn near fucking killed himself. Like, he would have probably bust open his head and bled to death. Because there was like 3 or 4 steps to get up on the porch from the yard. And it was lined with like little shrubbery bushes or whatever. And I just remember, and there was gravel under that. And he just like tripped and fell and just like crushed that bush. And was a good 3 inches from cracking his head on the concrete porch. And he just fell and he's like, ow! And everybody there is just busting out laughing. And then you stand up, like it takes you a minute to stand up, and you finally get up, and this bush is like half the fucking size it used to be. Like you got all these perfect little bushes here, and then one's just flat. This is completely flat. And then I tried to get you in the truck, and I had to end up getting behind you and push you up in the truck because it was a nightmare. But that was another drunk story.
Yeah, another drunk Coney night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something me and Tracy went to the store the other day, and we've been dating for a little over 5 months. I think I'm finally starting to figure out this whole relationship thing. Like trying to work at my own angle to where I get my way,
Yeah.
I really am. Just listen. So where were we at? We were at Kroger. We were
still going to that wedding on our birthday?
Yeah.
Why?
just listen to the story. Listen to the story. So we were at Kroger, and I just had to get some. Or no, sorry, we were at Walmart.
Pick a store. Of course, you go to all of them every single fucking time.
Yeah. So I just went in there to get some deodorant, and I think I wanted some protein powder, something like that. So I just wanted to get two things. And she wanted to go down the makeup aisle, of course, and look at all that. And I didn't want to do all that because I know we're going to be there for like an hour. And I just wanted to run in, run out. Well, we're there for, 20 minutes, and I'm telling her, I was like, let's go, I was like, let's get out of here. I said, I've already got my two things. Let's go. I'm tired of carrying them around.
Mm-hmm.
So she's standing there looking at makeup, and I think she had to get some tampons or something like that, which is, if the makeup's here, the shampoo, conditioner, and soap is here, deodorant's here, and then all the feminine toiletry products are right here. So it's all right fucking there. And we've spent an hour just in those 4 aisles. So she had to get, I think she had to get tampons and some other things. And I just, the tampons is the only thing she needed at last. She got everything else. We were there for like at least almost an hour, 45 minutes. And I was just carrying around my two things, my deodorant and my protein powder. And I'm tired of it. And so I said, what else do you have to get? She said, I gotta get tampons. She's like whispering to me because there's like an aisle full of women in this makeup.
What's she been embarrassed for?
They
all got pussies.
Well, women get embarrassed. So I said, what kind of tampons do you need? I just yelled it. I said, what kind do you need? She said, Cody, shut up. And I said, you need the heavy flow ones? I said, you have a wide set vagina. Do you need those? They got some of these down there. Do you need some of those?
The ones that are as big as handkerchiefs, right?
I said, these say they're for a wide set vagina. So it took her all about 30 seconds to grab the tampons and walk out of the store. And she likes to go to the self-checkout, and
everybody does.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
She loves going to the self-checkout, and I particularly don't like it. I want the people to work there to check me out.
Why?
Okay, not to check me out. I want the people to work there to bring my stuff in because I don't fucking work there.
They don't get paid anymore.
It doesn't matter. I don't get paid to check out my own stuff.
If you got 6 fucking things, go to the self-checkout.
I don't get paid to scan my own shit. Okay, so Tracy's always like, hey, let's go to the self-checkout. I was like, no thanks, I don't work here.
Oh, so you can just go out and be like, oh, I'm working out pumping iron. I'm all healthy and shit. We go to Walmart. I'd get, a fucking pack of gum, and I'd be like, here, bitch. Throw it on the counter. Scan that motherfucker, 99 cents. In your hand, cash. Peace. Yeah. Keep the change.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a fucking cocksucker.
No. I don't go to Walmart just to get gum. I don't go to any store just to get one thing.
Oh, you had like a handful of stuff.
No, you only get certain things. Like, you don't go to Walmart just to get gum. You go to like a gas station.
Well, I'm not saying, it was an example, you dummy. I'm saying if it's like a 15 item or less and you got it in a basket, go to the self-checkout. It takes 2 minutes.
No, because she always says, she's like, let's go to the self-checkout. I was like, no, I'm just like, no thanks, I don't work here. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I don't get paid to scan my own groceries.
And they don't get paid anymore, so.
It doesn't matter. That's what they get paid to do.
Let the robot do it.
What are the ones that aren't at the cashier? What do they do? What are they doing?
What do you mean?
Like, what are they doing if they're not at the cash register?
I'm standing on them comfy foam mats.
They probably got fired. What I'm saying is, if everybody goes to the cash register, they're going to have to hire more people to cover the cash register.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
I'm inserting jobs right now.
Yeah. I didn't think of it like that.
Cody Cummings, 2020.
No. No, thank you.
We insert jobs into Walmart.
Now, the fucking McDonald's robots and cocksuckers need to stay. Because the people at McDonald's, if the people at McDonald's are horrible. They're just horrible. I mean, I haven't been there forever. But, when it comes to fast food, if you can just be like, beep, 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 there's no way that they're getting the shit wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Now, also, but that doesn't guarantee that they're not going to fuck up your order, though, either.
I guess.
Because even though you order the correct thing, it doesn't mean it's not going to get messed up.
I was trying to think the other day, like, when the last time I went into fucking McDonald's, or not even went, but, bought it. And I can't think of one. Maybe college.
Be proud of that. Be proud you can't remember the last time you ordered McDonald's.
I want to say college.
It's fucking dog food.
Which was, 2013?
Actually, I feel like if I fed McDonald's to the dog, he'd get sick. So, it's worse than dog food.
Well, that's just like we were talking, I was talking to people, I think you were there too. You were still there. And I was talking to people and they're just like, oh, I love Taco Bell. I could eat that shit, for every meal and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, let me tell you something. I said, you get a plain taco, right? With just cheese, no lettuce, no tomato, no sour cream, no nothing, no sauce, no bull, just meat and cheese, just a plain taco, no loco taco. What is it? Yeah, Doritos Loco,
Yeah,
no
Dorito,
loco.
no, just a
plain
taco.
flour tortilla, crunchy or what have you. And I said, you just take a bite of it and you just taste the meat. And I said, you will freak out. It is disgusting.
The truest taste you can ever have of Taco Bell is when you're hungover. And I've ate Taco Bell twice years ago when I was hungover, and it never tasted more like shit. It literally had the texture of sand, and because I was hungover, my taste buds were shot, so I couldn't taste any of the seasoning. You know what I mean? It's just like doused in seasoning, I guarantee it. And it comes in a fucking plastic bag that's heated up with hot water. So if you think about it, your taste buds literally blocked out, the lack of your taste buds blocked out all that extra shit, and you just tasted the texture of I felt like I was eating sand in a fucking tortilla. It was terrible. And I think just being hungover blocked all that out, and I could actually taste the real meat.
That's why I like going to Penn Station every once in a while. If I'll go somewhere, it'll be Penn Station, and I'll get a sub because they buy it like a fucking deli. It comes in a huge like ham or turkey breast or, you know, a full thing, and they slice it themselves.
Do you know that for a fact, though?
Yeah, it's sitting in the fucking fridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
That's right.
Their cheeses in blocks.
That's right, I forgot, yeah.
I don't know about their bread. Their bread's different.
I've looked in their freezer, I forgot, yeah.
Their bread could be Subway, but it's way better than Subway's. And then their fries are fresh potatoes because they make them all the time. Yeah. They go in the back and cut them fresh themselves.
And Penn Station fries are the bomb.
They are. They're pretty fucking good.
They're fucking
And they
good.
give you a shitload of them. They're just like, oh, we filled up the cup, but you know what? There's still like so much left in this fucking thing. We're just going to dump them in the bag. And then by the time you get it home, it's like the bag's just covered in grease. Yeah. So
Penn Station far superior to McAllister's or Subway, I feel like.
I've heard people like, well, fuck Penn Station. I like Subway. And I was like, you're gross. Because our Subway, you don't want to eat there because it's owned by people. And they're not nice people.
I had Subway before the podcast today.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I sat here and ate it right in front of you.
You did. Was it good?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I haven't been to Subway in forever.
It's the healthiest fast food. It's not fast food. It's casual fast food.
Yeah.
So you can. It's not. It's like the.
Don't they have like pizza now?
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think they do.
I don't know.
I don't think they have fucking pizza. They got salads. It's kind of like a shitty salad. It's not a very good salad.
I just remember we used to get it all the time in college. We get breakfast when they had Subway breakfast. Remember that?
Yeah.
The flatbreads. You get like the steak flatbread. Like a foot-long steak flatbread. It was so good.
Yeah. I feel like since Subway's casual fast food, I feel like Subway is like the one kid that had the nice Polo Ralph Lauren shirt in elementary school. It's like that guy. It's like the guy in elementary school, like no kid dressed nice. They're like wearing Star Wars t-shirts and shit like that.
I guess.
And it's just like the kid that has a little bit of money, but not a lot of money, but he just decides to dress nice. That's Subway.
Yeah, but I mean, we got a McAllister's too, and you can fucking go in there and...
I mean, it's good, but it's not fucking gourmet. It's not at all. But
pretty good.
It's not bad. It's really not bad. I mean, you can't really fuck up a sandwich.
No.
So, to be honest with you.
Well, they sell them, whatever they're called, because is it the Chipotle chicken thing that I always get that you...
Yeah.
Well, what's it in? It's in
ciabatta.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, ciabatta.
They sell them at the grocery store, and I was like, I'm thinking about buying some of them and like do what they do and make it like a pocket, and then like fill it with like...
And I seen something about ciabatta bread the other day. That it's like the worst fucking bread for you to eat.
It probably is, because I think it's like kind of like basically like a sourdough, but...
I think it's like a heavily processed bread, to be honest with you. Because breads are processed in America.
It's a weird shape. Every other bread is a bread. This looks like an octagon.
It's shaped like it's like a square. It's like a square smashed loaf.
Well, no, it is square, but it comes in at a point.
Yeah. It's kind of like a smashed loaf of bread. Like if you just smashed a loaf of bread before you sliced it.
It's good though. I mean,
yeah, it's good, but I think it's like the worst fucking bread for you to eat. But hey, I'm not knocking ciabatta. I like ciabatta bread.
I want to know how to make my own bread. But when
easy.
when it comes down to like dough and shit like that, I get scared because I've never done it before.
It's pretty easy. It's not dough. It's flour. It's flour, water.
It's dough.
No, all it is flour, water, and a little bit of yeast. That's it.
Which is?
Actually, sorry. It's not yeast. It's flour, water, and
baking powder.
No, a little bit of salt. That's it.
No, I mean...
Yeah, you leave it out. This is how you start. This is how you
yes,
make...
but yeah, I mean, you have to have yeast.
No. You use the natural yeast from the air. There's yeast floating around in the air right now all around us.
But
you use the natural yeast. So all you do is flour and water and a little bit of salt. It's either salt or a little bit of sugar. I can't remember. But that's how you make a starter, sorry. And you leave it out, and all this natural yeast comes in, and it makes that bread into dough.
Okay. What dough? Duh.
It makes it into dough, though. You don't have to use yeast. All it is flour, water, and a little bit of salt, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure those are the 3 ingredients. You don't need any yeast. The yeast comes from the natural air. So when you get that, you just add a little bit of flour and water to it, little by little, and it literally starts forming this starter, and it looks like snot, to be honest with you. And it just starts, you put it in a glass jar, and you put it in your cabinet, or like a dark, cool spot, and you just, every few days, every 3 or 4 days, you just add a little bit more flour and water to it, and then it just keeps building and building and building. It keeps growing, and sooner or later, your jar will be full. And people actually, from generations, pass down these starters. So you could have a starter that's 100 years old. It's a 100-year-old living thing. Some of them.
What do you do? Just put it in a cupboard?
No, you just keep it in a mason jar, a glass jar, and you keep it in a cool, dry spot. And there's people that have passed down bread starters.
And it's liquid.
For hundreds of years. It's like a snotty.
Then how does that turn into dough?
You take a spoonful of that, add it to more flour and water and a little bit of salt, and let that rise, and then it turns into dough. And then you bake it, put it in the oven, and that turns into bread. That is basically a concentrated thing that makes bread. That's basically all that is. So when you go to bake bread, all you do is take a tablespoon of that, put it in there, and that's it. You just mix it all together. And you just when you like how you ever seen people that they let their dough sit and rise.
Yeah,
that's when it creates that yeast inside of your bread mix, and then you just bake it.
Well, I mean, I was just reading it, and it's like it has like.
Was it flour, water, and salt?
No, it's just flour and water.
Yeah, flour and water, and it's like a snotty material, and
it's rye or wheat flour.
Yeah, and every few days you just add a little bit more flour and water to it, and eventually your mason jar will just start to fill up because it's a living thing. And I mean, there's like starters that families have passed down for hundreds of years. You just keep it in a jar.
Now, a recipe or the actual fucking shit?
Do what?
The actual shit in a jar.
Yeah, it's an actual stuff in the jar. That's it. No, they actually just they've had this jar in their family for 100 years, and they give it to the next person in line for them to make their own bread. They teach them how to make their own bread. And it's pretty fucking cool. I've thought about getting into it too, because bread in America is so processed, and it's got so much added shit to it. If you just look at the bag of like Wonder Bread, and I'm not shouting anybody out, but if you just look at a regular old fucking bread in the store, and sorry if you guys can hear Bo in the background, but just look at bread in a store and flip it around. It's got like starch and
wheat gluten
and corn syrup and sugar, and you don't need sugar in bread.
No.
Bread does not need any sugar. It's just flour, water, and yeast. That's it.
Which is crazy.
And when you bake the bread, you add just a little bit of salt to it for like taste wise, but that's when you actually bake the bread.
They say salt brings out everything else.
Yeah, you don't actually put salt in your starter. But yeah, it's like a snotty, viscous material. But yeah, eventually it just builds over time, and people have passed these down for hundreds of years, and it's really fucking cool. And I thought about making it because it's healthier, and I love bread and stuff like that. And since I'm calorie wise on my diet and I'm not low carb or anything, I don't fucking worry about anything. I don't worry about eating any of it. And it's so much better for you. And I feel like it's just another way to eat clean, and it's doing it yourself. And I think there's there's a growing popularity in doing it yourself.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to take a pee break. Pee break, everybody. And we're back. Had a nice long pee in my restroom, not outside, in front of the neighbors. Welcome back, guys. So, just want to take a second to, I don't know if everybody's heard about this, but California had some big fucking earthquake. 6.4. It's been like a long time since they've had a giant earthquake like that. And now everybody's thinking about, it's been, I think, like 10 years since they've had this kind of magnitude. And now everybody's scared and they're just like, oh, maybe the big one's coming.
6.4 big?
I think like a 9 or something, like demolished Haiti.
I want to say it's like 8.
I want to say like an 8 or a 9 demolished Haiti.
Probably.
But their shit's made of toothpicks.
But that was a tsunami.
It was an earthquake.
That was a tsunami. Haiti's in the middle of the ocean.
But it was a 9 point something earthquake
that caused
the tsunami.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, and everybody's talking about, maybe the big one's coming. But I think this is like the most aftershocks they've ever had. They've said it's going to keep going, but they've had more than 1,000 of aftershocks of like 5.0. Like they said, they're just going to keep, like, they had a 6.4. Now they're going to have an aftershocks of a 6.0. It shows like pictures of like a convenience store and stuff, and like everything's on the fucking ground from the shelves. But everybody's worried about it, and that's all they can talk about now. They're on the West Coast. But earthquakes are a big fucking deal.
One day there's just going to be an earthquake on the San Andreas fault line, and it's just going to crack California off from the rest of the U.S.
Yeah.
And it's just going to go right into the fucking ocean, to be honest with you.
Says they could feel it all the way in Nevada.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Which is quite a fucking ways away.
Hell yeah. Well, it's that San Andreas fault line. That San Andreas fault line, it literally cuts California off from the rest of the world. From the rest of the United States. And one day there's gonna be a big one, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it.
And it may not even happen in our lifetime, but eventually something's gonna happen. If it's not like flooding or a fire. I mean, if somebody I'm surprised like there hasn't been another wildfire. Of course, I saw in the news where they did stop like, what was it? Like 100,000 or something crazy, like 100,000 fireworks or 100,000 pounds of fireworks or something like that on a ship. They stopped at the port in California, and and in California, like all that shit's illegal because somebody flicks a cigarette out a fucking window and everything just goes up in flames. So, but it's crazy.
So yeah, I pulled up the picture of the San Andreas fault line. So it literally, it takes that bottom part, so Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, all of those cities, it just cracks that fucking end off. So if something happened, that whole side, and it would probably take half of the fucking state with it if it actually did break off. But all of those cities would be gone, and we would actually have to start
what's that one right
filming.
there?
This one.
That's where they determined where it would crack off, right?
That's the subduction zone. So this, if it actually did crack off, they call it a suspected subduction zone, and actually where it goes is it actually goes through the mountains and almost takes the entire state of California.
Huh.
So basically, the whole state would probably be gone.
And I'm guessing because of the topography, that's where it would fucking slide off.
Because the mountains would be like the stronghold in California,
and it just cracked.
Yeah, it would crack right off of the mountains,
and because the Titanic split in half.
Because I feel like once it goes down, once the mountains are right here, and they just go once it goes down to like Los Angeles and all those, Santa Cruz. Once it goes down, I think the sea level just drops dramatically. Mm-hmm. So it's basically it's just dropping off. Like when you hold a cheap paper plate in your hand, and you got too much food on one end, it's just gonna drop.
Yeah, well, I think that's another one. Like, there's two of them right there. There's two lines.
The first red line,
and it shows which way they're going. Like the San Andreas, those two are pulling away from each other.
So technically, there's there's 3 plates. So technically, there's actually 3 plates that actually make up California's layout, and it's Northern California all the way to southeastern California, and it's basically that top half where the mountain ranges are that's going one way, that's going basically west, and it's pushing up against the other largest part, which is pushing right up against that going east.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
blue X's are the worst part.
And then the blue X's are the worst part, which one is in the mountain peaks, and then one is closer in between, and close to Santa Cruz. So close to Santa Cruz, and it's right almost directly in between Santa Cruz and Santa Barbara. And but the very far side where Los Angeles and all those other places are, that's closest to the ocean, the plate is actually moving out towards the ocean. So if it did break, that little corner is probably just going to go off by itself. And all those, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And like the hot springs in Yellowstone, they're like animals are dying and animals are migrating and moving out of Yellowstone. They know shit's going on.
Well, isn't like they produce like a toxic gas or some bullshit?
Yeah, the geysers. And shit's going down, and there's that volcano that's in Yellowstone. And when it erupts, everything's fucking gone.
Yeah. It's like the movie 2012.
Legit, I think it's the...
I love that movie. I like John Cusack.
I love that movie, too. But if you think of it, here is the...
I might rent that on Amazon.
Do what?
I might rent that on Amazon 2012. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
John Cusack's my favorite. I think my favorite movie of him is the 1408. That scary poltergeist movie.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yes, that is a great movie. 1408 is a great movie. It's just like a...
he's a writer, and he stays in these...
He's a paranormal activity writer.
And well, he just never... he is like a myth buster.
Yeah, he's a paranormal activity writer, and he's never been scared out of a place. He's always stayed there and basically talked it out of existence. Talked the supernatural presence out of existence. Besides this one place, and eventually becomes his... In the end, it becomes his demise.
Mm-hmm.
But 1408 with John Cusack, it's a great fucking movie. 2012, it's a good movie, but it's scary. It's scarily real.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pulled up this picture of the possible Yellowstone supervolcano, and this is not just a prediction, but the actual kill zone and Yellowstone National Park is it's in Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Yellowstone National Park. The actual kill zone is roughly goes into Utah and Idaho and all of Wyoming and parts of North Dakota and almost to South Dakota. The ash zone, where it completely block out the sun, will cover Colorado, Utah, part of all of Idaho, into Oregon, part of Nevada, part of Kansas, part of all of North Dakota, all of South Dakota, and also the surrounding states. So it'll cover completely all that. And it'll completely block out the sun, and all plant life will probably die eventually, depending on how long it lasts.
Then they got a second ash zone.
Secondary ash zone, which goes all the way into Wisconsin and Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know what's not in there? Indiana, baby. We're gonna
live. We're gonna be all right, Indiana. We're gonna be all right. But
but then they're gonna come here.
It actually says California will be out of that too. But if you think about it, and a fucking volcano erupts, it's probably just going to crack that fucking West Coast half off of
They're going to feel it.
Yeah, definitely. It makes me want to move to, like, Alaska. I was going to say Hawaii, but Hawaii is literally one giant fucking volcano.
Yeah.
So, it's scary. It's very scary and real, and it's going to happen. It's just, you really can't do nothing about it.
No,
They say by the time that they can prevent it, it might just even erupt anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're already doing measures to prevent it from erupting now, they can't prevent it from erupting, but they prevent it from being so destructive and devastating. But it's against the clock, and they should have started 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's scary for them.
Yeah. In current news, have you seen the bottle cap challenge?
Are we getting into news? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is just this thing going in here.
Well, we can get into news topics now.
It doesn't matter. But
we're hitting that time limit.
Yeah. We're just if anybody out there seen the bottle cap challenge, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen it. I just saved a couple of these. Jason Statham does it, and what's priceless about him is his face. He looks like he's taking a shit and breathing heavy at the same time.
That's the same with Conor McGregor. You see his face before he spun around. He's like, they all look like,
yeah. And you know, Jason Statham isn't really that jacked. But another fellow...
He's got a shirt on, dummy.
Yeah. Another fellow handsome bald man there.
Whatever.
And one thing about Jason Statham is, though, nobody gives a shit about his extremely bad hairline. You can't give Jason Statham shit. You really can't.
He's bald. He doesn't have a hairline. Well, it goes way fucking back.
Yeah. And then another one we have here, Conor McGregor.
Those are the popular ones.
Yeah, these are the popular ones. And then one that's kind of unpopular, probably a lot of people don't know, is Tony Jeffries. Tony Jeffries is a Olympic boxer, and he doesn't actually do the spinning back kick. He actually does a left jab.
Because he's a boxer.
Because he's a boxer, he actually does a left jab. And gets the ball come out there. And I think another one was Tony Ferguson and a few other MMA guys. And they actually said that John Jones, did you see John Jones's?
No.
John Jones, he goes and does the spinning back kick, and when he spins, he stops, puts his leg down, and grabs the cap and just goes and twists it off with his hand. So that was John Jones.
Well, I told you about that one I saw one on Instagram, and it was a big guy, and he went to kick, and like, of course, it wasn't a very good kick. Like he was huge. He was probably like 350 pounds, and
right.
he went to kick, and it was just. There's no way he was going to get it. And he just turned around and then farted. And then it just like floated off.
That's pretty good. Let's see what we got here. I got a few things we can get into. Some current news this week.
I got one.
You go ahead if you want to do yours.
Playa. So today, it is a sad day, I guess, if you like this type of whiskey. One of the Jim Beam warehouses caught fire and destroyed 45,000 barrels of their aging bourbon whiskey.
45,000?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that many.
It was a whole warehouse.
Really?
It was like 100 yards long. So it was just a fire. They don't really know because everything is just basically gone. It's a fire in a whiskey warehouse. I mean, everything's going to be gone.
It's all made out of wood.
Yeah, and
it's alcohol.
Yeah, and they don't really know how it got started. They think probably lightning, or maybe the best case scenario is like lightning, and then like maybe it fucked with the lights and then caused a fire. But that's basically what they're thinking. But they don't really know. But they said it was a total loss. And what happened is they're like 100 yards away from this river. So all this bourbon burned, and what got leaked went into this river and turned this river black. So, and you can,
really?
They showed a picture of it.
Now, would that pollute the river? Then?
That's what they're trying to do. They're on a mission to hurry up and clean it up before it kills too much. But they showed a picture where it was running through it, and it's just black, and then the river's brown. And it just looks like chocolate and peanut butter with just a line down the middle. But that's what they're really worried about. They're worried about, the wildlife and all that stuff. So they have like all these people getting together, wildlife and all that stuff, trying to hurry up and get it cleaned up before it becomes a problem. And they don't really know if it will be, but they don't want to take that risk.
Right, because that could devastate a lot of wildlife around there.
But what I thought was the funny thing was they asked the people, like the owners of Jim Beam, and they're just like, oh, was this, how is this going to affect everybody else? And they're just like, oh, it won't affect anybody. These were like 2 years in, and what did it say? They weren't very long, but it was something, they sit there for like 4 years or something, and they were like almost halfway through their aging process.
I think it's 7 years maybe.
I don't think it's that long, but they weren't even, like, they were just babies.
Right.
Sitting there. And it said they have...
Baby bourbon barrels.
Yeah, and it said they,
Baby bourbon barrel.
It said it's just 1% of their inventory was that.
Holy shit.
And they're basically just like, they were like, well, is this going to affect anything? There's like, no.
How many gallons was it?
It was 45,000 barrels, and it says... I just had it right here. It said one barrel is 53 gallons, which is, Oh, shit.
What'd you say, 45,000?
Oh, 53 gallons is in one barrel, and that amounts to 150 to 200, 750 milliliter, or fifth, as the country people call it.
So it's 53 gallons?
Yeah, so this whole warehouse was 6 million bottles.
Yeah, so it's 2,385,000 gallons of Jim Beam whiskey.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That is ridiculous. That is 1% of their inventory.
But I mean, this was in Kentucky, so it's not that far away from us. But they're just like, oh, is this gonna? That's what I thought the fucked up thing was. They're just like, so is this gonna hurt you guys or whatever? And they're just like, no, it's 1% of our inventory. We don't give a shit. They're just like,
and I bet the white trash river rats were having a heyday at that. Ma, come check this out. The river tastes like whiskey.
Yeah, but it said their whole entire empire is worth $2.3 billion.
Jesus,
so,
holy shit, 2 million gallons.
Well, I know people that quit.
Gallons.
I know the people that quit drinking it because
I did. I don't like it anymore. I don't think it tastes the same.
Well, no, ever since like a lot of people quit because like it's still made in the U.S., but it's Chinese owned.
And I don't really think they gave them the entire recipe. Do you think they would really give them their entire recipe?
I think so because I mean it's still in the same part. It says says talking about another building that actually collapsed because it was so old. It was from 1792, and then been doing it there forever, and that collapsed last year.
I never really liked it that well. It was okay, but I do think it changed in its taste.
Well, they just like the best one I've ever had was a Jim Beam rye, and that was delicious. But they just keep putting like flavors, and it just tastes generic.
Yeah.
When you can go and get like a Crown, pay like what another $20 and get like a Crown, and it be so much more.
Now
better.
that is also why I like the only type of flavored whiskey I like is from a local distillery here in Indiana called Starlight Distillery, which is in Starlight, Indiana. It's also doubled as Huber Winery, so for people who don't know a lot about whiskey, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of Huber Winery. They have a big strawberry festival up there around that area. But so it's Starlight, and it's blackberry whiskey. Now, it is actually aged in blackberry bramble wine barrels. So it is not that flavored, sugary syrup shit that it tastes generic and fake.
It's actually aged
in a blackberry bramble wine barrel. I never knew what a bramble was. I thought it was like a type of wood. It's actually
a bush.
It's a bramble bush. It's
Duh.
like, but they're like berries that come from a yeah. So I didn't really know what that was. But that's the only type of flavored whiskey I like.
So, sorry, Jim Beam, but you obviously don't give a fuck. Yeah. So, they're just like, oh, well, we had that building insured for a lot more than it was fucking worth.
Really?
So, I don't know, but I guarantee this is what they're like. Yeah. They're just like, we don't give a shit. We got more fucking than 20 other places in Kentucky.
It's all right. That entire warehouse of whiskey just kept like one county of Kentucky supplied for a week, so it doesn't fucking matter.
It didn't say how much money it was, so like a bottle of Jim Beam at a store is like $15 give or take. So what's 15 times? So 200 times.
It's 2 million.
What?
Well, it's 2 million gallons. You said it was like 6 million gallons.
53
right?
gallons a barrel. 53 gallons a barrel. 45,000 barrels. So and they get 150 to 200 every barrel. So let's do 200. Okay. 200 times 45,000.
All right. How many did you say per barrel? 150.
150 to 200.
Okay, so we'll just do 175. That's 418,375,000.
Huh.
So times that by 15.
That's not right. It's not
$6 million.
No, that's a billion. So $6 billion.
$6 million.
No, that'd be no. It's do what I said to do. There's 53 gallons, right?
Right.
They get 150 to 200 per barrel. Okay.
Yeah.
There's 45,000 barrels, so 45,000 times 175.
1.75, right? Or 0.175.
No, times 175.
175.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
There you go.
No, get rid of the other bullshit. It's not 73 billion.
Oh,
you had the other stuff on there.
Okay, so 53.
No, 45,000 times
45,000.
175.
Sorry, excuse me. Times 175.
Times 15.
Times 15.
That's better.
$118 million.
Jesus Christ. It's
Sorry,
like talking
everybody.
It's like talking to a fucking wall. I don't need a...
This is Indiana math. Indiana math. You take the bark of the tree minus the 2 leaves, and you got the berries here, which is times 20, and that's a whole bramble bush.
All right, let's get into a couple of your new stories.
Okay, this isn't really a news story. This is just kind of a fun little thing here. This is a snake swallowed itself, and actually it says it's a speckled king snake, and they actually occasionally can eat themselves
because they get so hungry.
They think they are they're food. They think themselves are food.
So they're fucking stupid,
I guess. But this guy, he has the guy that posted it. He owns a speckled king snake.
I'd pull that some bitch out.
Well, you can't really pull it out because they have teeth. They have teeth they're probably locked inside of itself. To be honest with you, I don't know. But he's literally swallowing himself, and if you can see,
I guess eventually they'll let him fucking go.
If you can see along here, about halfway down, where it starts to curl under, do you see that?
Yeah.
That is how far he's inside of himself.
Huh.
He's very far in front. So the guy, he actually took a little bit of hand sanitizer on his finger, and he put it on the snake's head or on his nose.
Yeah.
And actually the hand sanitizer actually reacts to the skin on a snake, and it kind of dries it out, and the snake actually released itself from its body, and it was all the way up here where the start of the screen is.
Huh.
So he had about 4 inches of his own body inside of his mouth.
Huh.
So he was slowly digesting his own ass.
Crazy.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, next news story I got here, guys, is Britain's most tattooed man calls women out as being shallow because he gets rejected from his own fucking looks.
No fucking shit.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean...
I can't even, there's no words to express.
I can deal with the fucking eyes, because eyes are pretty goddamn cool.
But he's had his the whites of his eyes tattooed black, which is a very, very, you can only go to England to get that done, actually.
I mean, those are pretty cool, but his whole entire face and his neck are like blue scales. Even his nose and the bridge of his nose.
Yeah, the only thing that is not tattooed is
his fucking cock.
Is his mouth and literally like he's like when you wear sunglasses and you get a tan line around your eyes. That is not tattooed, but his eyeballs are tattooed, and around his mouth, like his lips, are not tattooed,
and his butthole's pierced.
So he
looks like a fucking Nazi with that blonde hair.
Yeah. So
look, he has blonde hair and a fucking jet black mustache.
I know.
Looks like he fucking eats ass for a living.
So I guess finding love for this guy isn't very easy. The man's name, Body Art, which he legally changed in 2008.
His fucking name is Body Art.
He changed his name to Body Art in 2008. His name, formerly as Matthew Wellen, so he changed it in 2008 to the name Body Art, so he goes by Body Art, ladies.
He's a fucking idiot.
He says, I have a very active social life, but I haven't had much luck finding a woman.
Are you fucking sure?
He says, a lot of women are put off by my tattoos, or at least it makes them very curious.
Maybe it's this fucking picture. He's standing in front of a police station with a skull in his hand and a fucking necklace made out of the goddamn spine,
a vertebrae.
And he's, ooh, women don't like me because of my fucking tattoos. No, dude, you're a fucking freak.
And he says, I get other women who are just interested in me because of my tattoos. No shit. Look at him. And he looks, and at least, dude, if you're gonna get a woman, don't look like a tub of shit.
No kidding.
He looks like Trix, the cereal, like, he looks like the rabbit from the Trix cereal just came all over his body.
And he has like a stupid fucking handlebar. Yeah, mustache, anyway.
It's like a Fu Manchu. He looks like Play-Doh.
Do they just allow people to stand in front of a police station like this?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he did it for like an imaging thing or what, but he's standing in front of a police station holding a skull and a vertebrae around his neck.
Fucking
and a
weird.
necktie with no shirt on.
I mean, there has to be... There's girls that are like this. Maybe not that aggressive. Maybe not like with the shit in their eyes and all that. But there's girls that have tattoos all over.
There's girls that have tattoos all over.
And there has to be some in Britain. I mean, I don't know, like... it's 2019, dude. Get fucking an online profile.
He actually, I believe he said, no, I don't think he's got. I think he's gotten on a few dating websites. But I mean, look at him. That's not somebody you walk up to unless you're curious about their tattoos. Like if somebody else, like because Tracy has a lot of tattoos, and other people that are really into tattoos, like she is, they compliment each other's artwork on their arms. That's about as far as it goes. Now, if you look at him and you can only see his eyes, his nose holes, and his lips,
no.
You're not gonna fucking walk up to the dude.
Not even that's not his problem. It could be like, oh, dude, you got some cool tattoos. It's like, are they everywhere? Yeah, man, they're everywhere. Like, hey, I'm Steve. What's your name? Body Art. What?
My name's Body Art.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Body Art.
Bart? Your name Bart? No, Body Art.
Body Art. Your name's legit Body Art. Yeah, man, I changed a couple years ago. Since I got all these fucking tattoos all over my body, and I was like, okay, bye.
Oh, so he's approaching 40 years old, and he's looking to find love and settle down and have a family. Jesus. He says, I've had about 15 to 20 relationships in my life. Doubt it. And I have definitely gotten more attention since I got my tattoos. So you get attention because you have your tattoos?
You know exactly what this, what he just said fits perfect with the circus.
Yeah, the circus, legit. And look, he's even got a new addition, the piercing. He's got the all-seeing eye, and he got a piercing on it for the eyeball.
On his fucking forehead.
On his fucking forehead. So, ladies, give him a call if you see him in a bar. Try not to run away.
He looks like, what's this bullshit in his lip? The white.
It's a piercing, and it's just like, that's just like, lip? No, it's not the whole thing. It's probably just a stud, but yeah, it's sticking out his lip. So that's his like normal walk around.
I mean, do what you want to do, man, but don't hate on women for not finding you attractive because you look like a crocodile. Said he had 300 tattoos.
Yeah, he has more than 300 tattoos in total, including having the whites of his eyes dyed black. He even had his nipples removed to make room for more tattoos.
He also has teeth marks carved into his ear and his tongue split in half.
Yes.
Teeth marks. He had somebody cut his fucking ear to look like fucking, what is it? Evander Holyfield? They got his shit bit off by Mike Tyson? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
But whoever bit Mike Tyson, so he fucking like pigs at the fair. He had somebody fucking take scissors and cut bite marks into his fucking ear.
Yeah. He also had a knuckle duster implanted in his arm. So a brass knuckles implanted in his arm. And he also had, implanted in his hand. So he had a knuckle duster implanted in his arm, a crown implanted in his hand, and a skull implanted in his chest.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? Do you see anything in his chest? I don't see anything in his chest.
No.
He probably that's not a very good picture.
No. But dude, you're not helping yourself. Plus your fly is like half unzipped, homie.
No, I think that's just bulging out.
But
probably from his huge fucking hog he's got in his pants.
Oh, women, blah, 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 blah. Dude, come on, man. You're not helping yourself at all. You got implants? Okay. Tits, maybe. Yeah, for a woman. But you got a fucking skull implanted in your chest and all this shit.
Yeah, I mean, don't blame ladies for not coming on to you, dude, to be honest with you.
Honestly, like, best chances you join the circus, because I know it's still going around there in England. But
see, that doesn't mean... He might have a good social life, but that doesn't mean he's a normal dude. He might be a weird guy.
Yeah.
You never know.
I guess.
God. More power to you, dude. Good luck. Good luck, Body Art. Good luck finding a lady, Body Art. Ladies, if you're on Plenty of Fish or Facebook or any of these dating farmers only. He might be on all platforms, to be honest with you. If you see
human lizards,
if you see a man named Body Art, just give him a call.
Worst fucking name ever.
You might get to move to England, so he's looking for love. If you don't mind, having a black soulless eyes stare at you while you guys are making love.
Hashtag women for body art.
Oh shit. He looks like Jaws if he had depression. With his black eyes. Oh god.
I'm speechless. That's ridiculous.
I know. Okay. You want to move on?
I guess.
Let's move on.
Looks like he killed a Smurf and just smeared it on his face.
He looks like Braveheart.
Yeah.
If he went a little too far.
The ultimate fucking...
It's just like, hey, William, what? You don't need that much blue.
Yeah. Can you help me find a woman, man?
You don't need that much blue, William. He's like, I'm William Wallace. I do what I want.
Yeah.
No, man, just do half the face. Everybody else is doing half face. Yeah. He's like, no, I do full face.
Did you cut your nipples off? William, I know
you want your holes back, don't you?
Yeah. Make a necklace out of the skull. Don't just carve it into your chest like a fucking freak.
Holy shit. All right, good luck, body art. Holy fuck.
Hashtag women for body art.
Hashtag women for body art. Body art. Okay. So this is actually fucking ridiculous. So, a Kenyan airline had a stowaway on board, and it just so happened that stowaway fell out of the plane during the flight and landed next to somebody sunbathing in their garden.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So,
what did he do? Fall out of the...
Yeah, so it was on a Kenyan airline flight. The stowaway was obliterated on impact near...
Oh, I thought he was drunk.
It was it was in London. Somebody was sunbathing in their... They call them gardens, which is like their front lawn.
It's their back lawn, dummy.
Oh, back lawn. So, the body was suspected as a stowaway aboard the Kenyan Airways plane. Plummeted to the ground in London on Sunday morning. It landed 3 feet away from the person. And this was in Clapham. The person fell from the plane as it was lowering the landing gear in preparation for touching down.
He's just like, dude, we're almost there. And they're just landing gear comes out. He's like, ah!
So honestly, he's like, dude, we fucking made it. This free flight to London. And then just smack. So literally, he probably wasn't even that high, to be honest. When did they put down the landing gear?
Whenever they're landing.
Well, that's
why it's called a fucking landing gear.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering typically how high.
They probably lived right by the airport.
Right. But like typically how high does a plane put down its landing gear?
Pretty close to the ground. I'd say within a mile.
No, I mean like how high? How high up are they?
I don't know. I don't know. He obviously, it doesn't matter how far he
obviously was fucking obliterated.
I mean, it showed he landed basically on a sidewalk, and it's like a 1.5 feet down now.
Right.
The picture. Now what are you looking at?
I'm just looking up how high they actually put down their landing gear.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really say much. I'm just trying to figure out how high he actually fucking fell from.
At least 1,000 feet.
Oh, at least. But anyway, so the person, obviously the person was about to shit their pants probably. And how would you just listen to fucking Old Town Road sunbathing in your front lawn and this fucking smack? That would scare the shit out of me. Let's see. So he didn't even. So it said the person said he didn't even realize
he didn't feel a thing. He just hit the ground.
I mean, honestly, if the person is 3 feet away, you're getting something on you.
What if it was body art and he's just like, man, I wish I had a woman.
Maybe that's how he got all those tattoos. Just a splatter from the impact 3 feet away.
I'm just saying that she's probably, I wish I had a man in my life, and just boom, hit the ground.
Oh, man. So the person was asleep. The person was sunbathing asleep in the front lawn. So you're asleep.
No.
And you get woken up by a body hitting the ground.
That's a no. You don't fall asleep. This is how you get sunburnt.
London people don't fall asleep in your garden.
Yeah.
There's a
skin cancer.
There's gonna be a body. There's gonna be a body.
Number one cancer, skin cancer.
So the body landed basically 1 meter away and was obliterated. And there's the sidewalk.
That's what I'm saying. It's like garden. 1.5 feet deep.
Yeah, it's like it's an indent in the ground.
A tiny person.
I don't think it was a tiny person. I think it was just a pile by the time they got to the ground.
Probably.
So one person claimed that there was a few...
He probably passed out from the G-force anyway.
Oh, probably. One person said that there was a few people in the house at the time, and it was lucky one of us was in the... only one of us was in the garden, because if more of them were in the garden, somebody probably would have got hit and died as well.
They fucking gave him a house.
Yeah, so they said nobody would have survived from being hit by that impact. It says, since the incident, the sunbather has moved temporarily from the 2.3 M.
That's a million.
Oh, sorry.
Fucking idiot.
Okay, so the person moved to stay with their parents for a while. Which, fuck, wouldn't you?
They lived in a 2.3 million pound house in England to move back with her parents.
Well, a body fell from the fucking sky while you were sunbathing in your backyard. Wouldn't you freak the fuck out?
No, they'd be like...
Move back in with your parents?
They'd be like, dude, you okay? Body art? Is that you?
Body art? Is that body art?
Dude, I ain't seen you forever. You found a woman yet? It's roughly $2.5 million.
Yeah, roughly $2.5 million is the 2.3 million euros. And it's not even really that big. It's just one of those little places. It's not really that
those
big.
are... They get that whole 3 floors.
The neighbor said, I heard a womp. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is a womp? I heard a womp.
I guess. Womp Gumdum style.
Sai, is that you?
Yeah. Sai?
Oh, body art. What's up, man?
Sai and body art?
Sai and body art. So, heard a womp, so I went to look out the window. At first, I thought it was a tramp asleep. What the fuck? A dog? Like the cartoon?
I think a whore.
I thought it was a prostitute asleep on the front lawn. I think it's like a homeless person. Yeah, it was a pile. Yeah. It was a pile of dead person.
I guess.
I had a closer look and saw that there was blood all over the walls of the garden.
No fucking shit.
And his head was not in a good way. His head was not in a good way.
Probably fucking gone.
Well, English people turn everything into G-rated. It's just like, if this happened in America, I'd be like, dude, his fucking head was fucking everywhere, man.
Yeah.
His brains hit me in the face.
It just reminds me of that homeless hiker who hit that guy with that hatchet.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He's just like, see, that guy was like, trying to like kidnap that girl, like rape her or something. He's like, I went up to him with my hatchet. I was like, wham, motherfucker. Wham.
Wham, motherfucker.
That's what he did. He was just like, he's like, I saw her in trouble and he was like, hey, and I was like, wham, and he just does like a hatchet swinging motion. He's like, I was like, wham, motherfucker, wham. And then that guy ended up getting arrested for being a peeping Tom stalker type deal.
Yeah. Oh, shit. So the force made by the impact made it difficult for police to identify whether the person was a man or a woman. Probably because the head was not in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Did it have a penis?
So it's also known... it is also not known whether the person was alive or dead at the time of the fall. They probably passed out from G-force.
That's what I'm saying. They if they fell from...
That's why I was wondering how high they went from.
If they fell from as high as when you fall from that high, your body's going like 120 some odd miles an hour. You see people scared all the time on roller coasters, and they're just like, ah, and then they pass out, and then they wake back up. Yeah. He probably passed out.
Well, it said that they also had to survive a 9-hour flight with low oxygen levels and enduring temperatures.
Fuck, he probably passed out a long time ago.
Oh, he probably died a long time ago. He probably suffocated.
Plus, it's cold in there.
Well, it's not cold in there, actually. It was when you go that high up, you freeze to death.
Yeah.
So
he's probably already fucking dead.
So it said it can survive a temperature of negative 60 degrees Celsius, which is...
Oh, that's like...
extremely fucking cold. So that's negative 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
Huh.
That's cold as fuck. Doesn't your internal organs freeze or what?
Well, if you don't keep moving, the cold chambers and shit, they get to negative 140 or something.
Yeah.
But you have to keep moving or you will freeze.
Right.
Your heart will stop.
Right. So
and I don't think he's fucking doing jumping jacks for 9 hours.
Right. So the person was probably already dead, to be honest with you.
He probably froze to death and then hit the ground and it was just got thawed out like a caveman and it was just like, ah!
Oh, here we go. It says right here. He fell at 3,500 feet at 200 miles per hour. He looked like SpaghettiOs.
It's like you open a can of SpaghettiOs and just turn it upside down and let it hit concrete. That's what he fucking looked like. With clothes.
We're laughing at somebody dying.
Oh, it's no fucking fault.
Okay.
Pay for a fucking ticket, dude. He looked like SpaghettiOs.
He was probably frozen solid, so it's like taking a TV dinner, putting it in a blender, tipping it upside down on your fucking counter, and just bloop. Oh, yeah. Sorry, womp.
Yeah.
Fucking womp.
I thought it was a tramp.
There's
a whore outside dead.
Oi, Daddy, there's a whore outside on the lawn.
There's a whore outside. She fucking exploded. She fucking exploded.
Her pussy blew up.
She got pounded so much her pussy blew up.
Her head was in a bad way. Holy shit. Okay.
Can't trust some tramps that fucking pipe bombs that just blow up. Oh, man.
A police statement issued after the incident read, a bag, water, and some food were discovered in the landing gear compartment once it landed at the airport. Inquiries continue, led by the South Central Command Unit, and the Mets Aviation Police Command officers will be liaisoning with the airline and international authorities. The death is not being treated as suspicious, but inquiries are underway in the full circumstances.
So they're trying to find out what happened.
Yeah, trying to find out what happened.
Well, obviously you know what happened. He fucking fell from 35,000 feet and exploded. Like a fucking Ziploc bag full of fucking tomato sauce. Should we end on that note?
I think we found body art lady. Yeah. He's probably... Well, that fucking gutty's full of fucking SpaghettiOs, man.
Should we end it on that note?
What time are we at?
Hour 18.
Yeah, that's good. Fine. You're good. I'm good.
Well, guys, that is another fucking amazing episode of
hilarious fucking episode of the Cummcast, guys.
We appreciate you guys so much. We want you to keep coming back and listening. And make sure and tell a friend, just, if you think this episode's funny, which we had a pretty fucking good time.
No, I think it was the best episode we've ever fucking had. This is the funniest episode I think we've ever had.
So, make sure you let somebody know. Just be like, hey, we listened to this episode. We think you'd like it. And, I've tried to tell people about, that we started a podcast. And they're just like, what's the podcast?
It's 2019 and some people just don't know what a fucking podcast, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But to be honest, since it's free entertainment and people love shit that's free, so we've been working on trying to spread the word a little bit about it. I think we're getting more. At first, we weren't really comfortable with sharing it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I think we never did a Would You Rather. I guess we can save it for next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week. So this week's I'll go back to that here in a second. So we've just been working on trying to spread the word to people and tell people about it. Just because we weren't really comfortable with it at first, but now since we're having a lot more fun with it and we're getting more familiar with it, and we listen to the episodes every week just to see how we do to get a little bit better, and we're gonna increase the value of the podcast over time, but we're just going to keep giving you guys great material.
The more we do it, the better we'll get. And I think we're definitely getting more comfortable speaking to a fucking microphone sitting on the table. So
right, and really, it's not really speaking to the microphone. It's just me and you having a conversation.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of hard with the microphone in between us if you're not used to it, because it's something new, and if you're not used to that, it can be a little awkward at first. I know the first 3 or 4 episodes, it was very awkward for us.
Yeah, but I'm about 5 beers in, and we had some good topics. So
yeah, so hopefully I can keep getting those great topics in for especially next week and the weeks to come. So thank you all.
What do you want to say about the Would You Rather?
Oh, okay. The Would You Rather.
We don't really have to do it. We can do it.
No, we don't have to do it this week since we're a little bit over time, but we're having a great episode. So the Would You Rather. A lady at the place we work, she listened to the episode. She actually binge listened to all of our episodes within a few days.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you to Laura at work. She came up with this week's Would You Rather. We'll
just go ahead and do it next week since we don't really have time to do it.
We'll go ahead and do that next week. So sorry, Laura, we just didn't have time for it this week, but we will do that. We will not forget about that, and we'll do it next week. So thank you, Laura, for that Would You Rather. And if anybody else would like to submit a Would You Rather, you can email us at thecummcast@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
Or you can DM me or Ryan. I'm at Cody Cummings Official on Instagram.
And I'm at Cum007 Ryan.
So thank you all for listening again. Just tell people you know, if you like the episode, if you like the podcast. Just tell people about it, and if they don't know what a podcast is, school them real quick, tell them what the fuck is up, make them woke as fuck, and get them listen to the podcast, because there's so much free content out there, not just our podcast. I listen to like 30 of them. I'm a podcast freak, and so much free content, and it gets me through my week. So just like, share, subscribe. Tell people about
this isn't YouTube.
Yeah, like, share. Well, it's still, okay.
No, just rate and review us on iTunes.
Sorry, rate and review subscribe. Sorry. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell people you know. We appreciate every download we get, every listen we get, every piece of advice we can get. There's no end to it. So don't be afraid to email us or hit us up on DM us on Instagram or anything like that.
And everything will be in the description, but we appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. And in life, when life gives you lemons, you milk that pig.
And when life gets you down, milk that pig, and Ryan, stop taking my fucking quote. Come out with your own.
Hashtag women for body art.
Hashtag women for body art. This is the Cummcast episode 12. We're out.
Peace.